This onion today, it's exactly 42 days since transplanting. 42 days since transplanting. Remember, we planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power. Suna Power ratio of 2:1. And it is 42 days since transplanting, and here we are. We planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power. And then we did our first top dressing using Yara Sulfan. And here we are. You can be able to see for yourselves. The progress is good. Welcome to Limitless Fresh Farm. You are all welcome on the 29th day of this month, August, for a field day to actually see for yourselves on the ground. Karibuni sana. A very warm welcome, farmers. Welcome to Limitless Fresh Farm. We are located in Kitengela, Kajiado County. Welcome to our onion section. This onion today, it's exactly 42 days since transplanting. 42 days since transplanting. Remember, we planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power. Suna Power ratio of 2:1. And it is 42 days since transplanting, and here we are. We planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power, and then we did our first top dressing using Yara Sulfan. And here we are. You can be able to see for yourselves. The progress is good. A very warm welcome, farmers. Welcome to Limitless Fresh Farm. We are located in Kitengela, Kajiado County. Welcome to our onion section. This onion today, it's exactly 42 days since transplanting. 42 days transplanting. Remember, we planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power. Suna Power ratio of 2:1. And it is 42 days since transplanting, and here we are. We planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power. And then we did our first top dressing using Yara Sulfan. And here we are. You can be able to see for yourselves. The progress is good. Welcome to Limitless Fresh Farm. You are all welcome on the 29th day of this month, August, for a field day to actually see for yourselves on the ground. Karibuni sana.
Thank you very much, and welcome again to the Prosperity Podcast. If it's the Prosperity Podcast, it's really crowding all experiences of farmers who've used Yara products and have seen the transformation on their farm. The video that you're just watching on your screens a few minutes ago is the video of Limitless. There is no limits to how much Yara fertilizers can transform your farm. And I'm joined by Alexine, who is the founder and owner of Limitless Fresh Farm. And remember, like I told you, we have lined up a host of different farmers to be able to share with you their experiences, so that as we start this season, you can start this season very well prepared. Alexine, welcome. You have traveled all the way to Agitech Today Expo, and we've been talking to different farmers, in this forum. And really, what was the motivation to come all the way to this particular event or this particular show?
Thank you very much, Ronald. As you've heard, my name is Alexine Khasoa, and our farm is called Limitless Fresh Farm. We are located in Kitengela,
Yes.
in Kajiado County.
Yeah.
So I've come all the way to actually just share with people, see what other people are doing, and really show people what Yara can actually do to them.
Right.
Because in everything that we are doing in farming, I believe mbolea ni Yara.
Yes.
So that is why I am here, to learn,
Yes.
to see different experiences, to see different things, but mainly to actually share with people the goodness of Yara.
Thank you very much. I think one of the most important things that you know, as you just beginning, you've mentioned, which is very important, and Yara has invested a lot in trying to help farmers be able to access knowledge. And of course, as they say with Yara, knowledge grows. Is Yara has invested, for instance, in this particular knowledge center to be able to help farmers also coming from different parts of the country to be able to learn. But just before maybe we go a bit deeper, probably people are wondering why the name Limitless.
Oh. As I've said, the farm is called Limitless, and we are limitless in everything. And actually limitless in what we can be able to do. Yeah. Limitless in what Yara fertilizers can do. Right. So limitless, we are. No human has limit. We have to be limitless in everything that we do. Maybe
our viewers are wondering, which crops do you grow? How many acres do you farm? Do you farm using the rain? Just take us through, you know, just a day limitless farm experience. What that looks like. What crops you grow? Do you use irrigation or rain-fed agriculture? Okay. Yeah, just fill our viewers in. Describe to them, for those who have not visited Limitless Farm. Yeah, just so that you can paint a picture for them.
As I've said, we are called Limitless Fresh Farm. We are located in Kitengela, that is in Kajiado County. Yeah. And we grow tomatoes, we grow onions, and we also grow cabbages for crop rotation. Right. And we actually do this under drip irrigation. And for our crops, our feeding program on all our crops is the Yara feeding program. Right. We use the Yara feeding program from the time we start in the nursery up to the end. Right. Yes.
Good. Thank you, Alexine. At the later part of our conversation, I'd want you to really help our viewers and also our farmers who are, you know, talking about, you know, how expensive, for instance, some of the fertilizers are. And again, I would want you to maybe at a later stage, you know, just paint a picture for us also from a commercial point. You know, how many acres are you growing, for instance, and are you seeing the return on investment by using the Yara products? There is also the promise of, for instance, the new organic fertilizer that it also helps to rehabilitate your soil. And the video that was just playing was a video of your farm. Yeah, and it was just showing how you yourself at Limitless Fresh Farm are using all these regenerative agricultural practices, using the Yara products, as well as selling ultimately and being commercially viable. So I want to just now to, as we kind of begin our conversation with you, just how did you start farming?
All right, thank you so much, Ronald. Actually, I've been in farming, this is my 4th year. I'm a Corona farmer. Yeah, I started farming because of Corona. Yeah, I just moved into the neighborhood, and then Corona hit and we were locked up. Yeah, so I was like, what do I do? I started farming. Yeah, to start with, I started actually with a 1/4 acre, which I grew onions. As I said, I grow onions, tomatoes, and cabbages. I grew onions, but from that 1/4 acre, I was using these other fertilizers. Right, I harvested 1 ton from half an acre. Right. So when I passed the aggrovate, this. Yeah.
Oh, I need to make my hair. Thank you very much. Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when I passed the aggrovate, and I was very proud with what I had produced. Yes. And the guy of the aggrovate told me, oh, so you got one ton in 1/4 acre? Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, no, you should get at least 4 tons. I was like,
how?
How? How can you get 4 tons?
Right.
So he told me, I'll walk with you, and I'll show you how it is done. And he told you the product, which I'm going to give you, different fertilizer, not what you've been using. Yeah. So that is actually how I started using the Yara product. Right. I went and leased 5 acres of land, and started growing my onion. Yeah. And immediately, the production really, the first time from the first batch, from 1 ton per 1/4 acre, that means 4 tons per acre, I hit 16 tons.
16 tons?
16 tons, the first time.
In how many acres?
That is 1 acre.
In 1 acre?
1 acre, 16 tons. Wow. And then after that, as we continued using the Yara product, now I was introduced to Yara sooner. Initially, we used just to plant with fertilizer, the Yara power and manure, but I was introduced to Yara sooner, and honestly, this is the game changer. Right. Because when I started using Yara sooner, mixing with Yara power, and planting my onion, the results were amazing. We hit 24 tons per acre.
Right. Now so it makes sense for me. when I look at online, your pages on Facebook, and also just generally online, I see people calling you Mama Yara.
Yes.
Indeed, the gospel of Yara is reaching places because of the transformation that you've been able to see on your farm.
Yes.
And you know, our viewers today, really what we are looking to showcase them is stories like yours, or people who've transformed your farm by simply changing how you feed your crop.
Correct.
There's also one thing that I have followed through your farm, and I try to emulate. As you know, I have learned a lot from you as well.
Yes.
As I was, beginning my model farm in March. The whole idea why I came to learn was because this magical 6-month harvest of tomatoes is something that most farmers don't see.
Correct.
So take us through, how do you get to harvest your tomatoes for 6 months? Because I can imagine that's, of course, a huge harvest, and you can definitely get the return on investment.
Thank you.
What is the secret?
The secret is the feeding program, and it is Yara.
Right.
That is just the secret, and I've kept telling people,
Yeah.
I keep showing them. I grow tomatoes.
Yeah.
Most people just harvest tomatoes for only 2 to 3 months, 1 to 2 months.
Yeah.
But I go 6 months. In fact, like there's this tomato which we grew, to be precise, on the 3rd of January this year.
Yeah.
We just removed them the other day.
Wow. That's almost,
so it is just the feeding program.
Right.
And I tell people, with Yara knowledge grows, they
Yeah.
keep giving us knowledge. Just follow that brochure which they have given us to use for your feeding.
Yeah.
Every 3 weeks, keep feeding.
Right.
And as you talked about the expense, it is not expensive. You'll realize cheap is expensive.
That's right.
So once you use this product, what you get in return is way much more
Right.
than what you've put in.
That's
It's
right.
just the secret is just the feeding program,
Right.
and it is Yara.
Right.
Yara, Mama Yao.
Thank you very much, Alexine. I want to now just shift a bit on something that I like about you as well, which is always funny for me, that we work hard on the farm and slay off the farm.
We work hard and then we slay later.
Yes, I want you to talk to most of your peers and or maybe those who want to venture into farming, and maybe this season they want to start maybe during the onset of the rainy season.
Yeah.
You got to start because of Corona. You got to start on that acre, quarter of an acre. But you've now moved to, is it 15 acres?
15 acres.
15 acres we're talking about. That's a huge scale of operation.
Yeah,
and you've been able, and in 3 years, you've been able to see the transformation. What advice would you tell that person who wants to start this season?
What I'm advising anybody who wants to start farming, as I've always said, first of all, when you start, you have to know the variety of the crop you are planting. If it is tomato, you have to get the right variety for that region.
Right.
After you've gotten the right variety,
Yeah.
of course, crop protection, we all know how to take care of our crops.
Right.
But the main thing is the feeding. You have to know how to feed your crop, and of course, it is Yara.
Right.
And as I always say, people can see from me, I started with 1/4 acre.
Right.
And then I went to 5 acres.
Right.
I went to 7, 9. I've been progressing like that within this short period of 3 years.
Right.
So of course it means the returns in this thing. If
That's
there are no
right.
returns, I would not be progressing like that.
That's right.
And especially for the ladies and the girls, young girls, I feel very happy with young girls who are really in agriculture.
Yes.
I always tell them we work hard at the farm,
Right.
and then we slay.
Yeah.
You don't feel, there's that mentality, farming
Right.
is for that.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we can still look nice and you're in the farm,
Yeah.
and after that we go and enjoy our life.
Exactly.
So farming.
There's one thing that I also followed in your story is the commitment. I remember a day before when you were at my farm and you were addressing some of the farmers who'd come to, to listen in and just to learn. You told them one important thing, that farming, if you want to do it, you cannot be a telephone farmer.
Correct.
So maybe speak about that as well, because for you to be able to move from 1/4 of an acre progressively to that 15, there has to be the time that you have to put in there. Maybe just talk a little bit more about that as well.
As you've heard, I've actually progressed from 1/4 of an acre to 15 acres in actually 3 years.
Yeah.
And remember, I had no idea about farming.
Right.
It's just learning on job. So what I know about farming, you have to be committed. It is hard work, resilience, and you have to be committed, and you have to be in the farm.
Yeah.
Take it as any other job. For instance, for me, I pack my things the previous day. At 6, I'm in the farm.
Right.
So you have to be committed. You have to be there to follow what is going on. Take it as any other job.
Right.
Not a telephone farmer that you call, oh, how is everything in the farm?
Yeah.
Then you go there like on Saturday with the family, you take pictures, you see what's happening. No.
Right.
It has to be, take it as your day-to-day work. Go there very early in the morning.
Yeah.
and see what is happening, and you'll make it. So it is the commitment and hard work.
Right.
Yeah.
I want now to shift conversations a bit. You talked as you're beginning about the importance of, getting information, the importance of being able to learn. And you said actually rightfully when you're beginning that you came today to learn, but also to share your experience, which is what you're doing on this Prosperity podcast as well.
Correct.
But there's one important thing that I think I have seen, and I think I've also had the privilege to work with you on. There are those farmers who are on social media and are looking to, get into farming.
Yeah.
What's your social media handle? How are you using social media to be able to impact other farmers to, to be able to get this information, but also to learn? And how are you working with Yara on that front?
Okay.
Yeah.
On social media, mainly I'm on Facebook, and we are called Limitless Fresh Farm.
Yeah.
Actually, we are limitless because initially I kept saying I'm analog until Ronald said for me the page. And I'm a Yara Shuja,
Right.
just trying to impact this knowledge and telling people how to do farming, and of course using the Yara products. So you can get me on Limitless Fresh Farm on Facebook, and I walk you through. I've realized with farming you can never say you've now reached the peak.
Right.
You learn every day.
Sure.
And let the knowledge grow every day.
Yeah.
So we keep sharing, we keep learning, and that is how you will improve your farming, because technology comes up every day.
Yes.
There are new products which are coming up.
Yeah.
So unless you're open and ready to learn,
Yeah.
then you will not really progress.
I wanted to finish us off. You've talked about technology as well. There's actually I follow your social media handles, of course, as you know. But there's one post that you made about the Yara farm care app and using the weather application.
Yes.
Tell us how that experience was.
Yes.
How did you find it?
Actually, that really saved me the last season when there was a lot of rain.
Yes.
Because of that app, I had onions in the farm, which I had thought I would harvest like in a week's time.
Right.
But because of that app, we were told it predicted that it would start raining by Saturday.
Yeah.
And actually, I harvested my onion hurriedly on Thursday and Friday.
Right.
And from Saturday, it started raining and it was crazy. That's when we had the floods.
Right.
So it is good to actually embrace technology.
Yes.
The Yara Farm Care being one of them.
Right.
And this is where we are.
Right.
Yeah.
For you, our viewers, we'll be coming back a bit later on this segment just to show you some of those tools that Yara has developed, like the Yara Farm Care app, that you can be able to use on your farm to be able to rightfully grow your farm and transform your farm. You can imagine, 1/4 of an acre to 15 acres, the huge scale of transformation that Alexine has been able to see on our farm, leveraging on using Yara fertilizers. But I know most of you are wondering, how do you get Yara fertilizers? You can get Yara fertilizers from a registered distributor. Do not get duped. If you're going to buy Yara fertilizers, or you're looking for Yara fertilizers, you can call Yara on their toll-free number and be able to be directed to a registered, credited agro dealer that can be able to sell you the product. Once you get your bag of Yara fertilizer, these are some of the things you need to look out for. First, you need to look at the mark of quality. That's the ship mark. Secondly, look at the fingerprint-like mark that's on the bag. And if you're still in doubt, call the Yara toll-free number and you'll be able to get your reliable products that can transform your farm. This is Prosperity Podcast, and it's really about conversations about farmers who are taking the step to be able to transform their farms, but ultimately to be able to feed Africa and to be able to feed the world. Such are the stories of Alexine, such are the stories of Patrick that we had earlier on in this segment. But a bit later, we'll also be bringing to you some of the experts from Yara to now be able to delve a bit more on the digital solutions that are available to help you build your farm, but also on the crop nutrition program that can help you unlock your farm. This is Prosperity Podcast, and as always we say, Mbolea ni Yara. Thank you, and see you after the break.
A very warm welcome, farmers. Welcome to Limitless Fresh Farm. We are located in Kitengela, Kajiado County. Welcome to our onion section. This onion today, it's exactly 42 days since transplanting. 42 days since transplanting. Remember, we planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power. Suna Power ratio of 2:1. And it is 42 days since transplanting, and here we are. We planted using Yara Suna and Yara Power And then we did our first top dressing using Yara Sulfan. And here we are. You can be able to see for yourselves. The progress is good. Welcome to Limitless Fresh Farm. You are all welcome on the 29th day of this month, August, for a field day to actually see for yourselves on the ground. Karibuni.